good morning, Cece. And good morning, anyone else who reads. Ooh, reads. People read streams. Who sees this stream and who watch this VOD that I'm gonna put on my YouTube. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Why are you up so early, unfortunately? It's gonna be a relatively short stream because I have a doctor's appointment in 2 hours. But I wanted to stream because I got back Saturday. I got back Saturday. And then Sunday I was busy doing all the stuff you do when you get back and your home is completely empty. And then yesterday I had a whole bunch of fucking doctor's appointments and I had to go to DMV and there's a whole bunch of shit I had to do yesterday. I was like, am I never gonna stream? I just got back and I'm not gonna stream? That doesn't sound like me. Good morning, Sage. Good morning. Thank you. I'm back from my little trip. It was very healing and good for the soul. Honestly, with how crazy the last few months have been, like going to see my family was really nice. It was a great gift from my brother. My brother was like, yeah, we haven't seen you for a while and I know you're financially strapped right now, so here's some money, buy a ticket. And I was like, oh my god, you're so beautiful. So that was really nice. It was also really great to get away from the cold. I mentioned it a bunch of times. As a Caribbean girl, I'm gonna tell you right now, the cold and I do not mix. We do not mix well. It is not for me. I hate it. So it was good to go home. It was good to go home. It was also like, I know a lot of people don't have great relationships with their family, but I do. I have a lovely relationship with my family. So it was nice to have so much support, especially with like what's been going on with my life. And yes, like I wanted to do an update because yesterday when I went to the doctors, they just kind of like hit me with a slap in the face with some truth that I knew anyway, but it's different when someone else tells you. It hits different when someone else fucking tells you. So as you all know, I have a lot of chronic pain conditions. One has to do with the fact that I had an accident. I broke my spine. Let's say it simply. I broke my spine and I've already had quite a few surgeries on it. And I try as hard as possible to like extend the time between the surgeries, but literally it's every 5 years. And this sucks because I am both old and young at the same time. I'm young enough that this is going to, if it keeps happening every 5 years, I've got a long life ahead of me. Hopefully. I mean, my health is very odd, so sometimes I don't think I'm gonna live very long. My life expectancy wasn't supposed to be particularly long because of my other conditions, but medicine's grown and my health has been caught eventually by doctors and helped. So that's been pretty interesting to live around. I don't know how to like really explain that, where it's like, yeah, because of the way you were going, you weren't gonna make it very far, but because of things that have now come to light, you might make it longer. But now I think I'm at a solid point where I'm not gonna die of any like if I die, it's gonna be something fucking crazy. And I have nothing currently chronically killing me. I have things that are currently chronically causing me excruciating life, but not something that would just outright just kill me. There's nothing that's gonna outright kill me, which is good. You know, that's little victories. So what happened yesterday was I'm gonna tell you what my symptoms are and you're gonna tell me, yeah, that was really obvious. Again, back injured. When I first had my accident, I ended up being in a wheelchair for a while. I slowly stopped being able to use my leg over time. I couldn't put any pressure down, and I just was not able to walk. Because I couldn't walk, like, first it was crutches, and then slowly it deteriorated to, yeah, bitch, just sit down. You're not gonna do anything with those legs. So then I ended up having my first surgery. Granted, when my accident happened, and how long it took for me to have surgery was like 1.5 years, because I had gone to a surgeon and they were like, no, you're fine, just like do some physical therapy and get like injections in the back for your pain and you'll be good. Slowly seeing how I was no longer mobile. Like, I don't know who gave that guy his degree or his license, but he's a crock. Then someone recommended a surgeon to my mother. They're like, oh, I see your daughter she's not doing very well. My mom is known by a lot of people, which is a lot of times a good thing. She knows so many people, and so she has so many connections. So they get in touch with this neurosurgeon, and usually that neurosurgeon doesn't have like appointments for like 6 months in advance because he's such a good surgeon. But when you got connections, that shit don't matter. And the dude saw me, and he like got a whole bunch of imagings of my spine and of my legs, because for a while they weren't sure if I had some type of weird damage to my leg, because my back didn't hurt at first. It was just the fact that I couldn't move my leg. I didn't have strength in it. I could move it sometimes, but it's not like I could like push down on it with weight. I couldn't lift it very high. It didn't have very much mobility, flexibility, and strength. It was just kind of there. And then after a while, it just literally became there because I could not move it after a while. And so they had to check my leg out, and my leg was fine. Mostly just the muscles were slowly getting weaker, because when you don't use a certain muscle in your body, it loses muscle mass over time. So my legs started to get skinny, which is hilarious because you guys haven't seen my legs, but let me tell you, they are beefy. I do not walk on toothpicks. The calf is boom. The thigh is bam. And so it's very funny to have one really strong leg and then one that's slowly getting skinny. Anyway, the doctor's like, yeah, I see what your problem is. And I don't know why the other doctor was such a bitch. Because first of all, when I first had my injury, I think I was 19. So the guy was like, you shouldn't be 19 living like an 80-year-old. Like, you're too young to have this much mobility issue when it could be corrected. Because I'm not ableist. I'm down for fucking all types of disabilities. I'm good. Like, I have some disabilities. So I'm not like, oh, you shouldn't have disabilities. But if you don't need to have them, why should you be subjected to them? So that's what my doctor said. And he was like, all right, this is our game plan. Got myself a surgery. Got myself a nice little surgery. And after that surgery, I think was like the healthiest portion of my life, because I had that surgery, and at the same time, they found a treatment for one of my other conditions. So I was being treated and my surgery was corrected. So now I could walk again. So I went full like gym rat mode. I was like, oh shit, I'm healthy now. Holy crap. Pump some iron. I got like really buff. I almost had a 6-pack. It was ridiculous from being in a wheelchair and losing muscle mass to being very strong. I have an interesting life. So, but as years went on, I started feeling the twinge of pain going down my legs. My leg. Singular leg. Long story short, 5 years later, my symptoms came back again. I couldn't really feel my left leg again. It was going, I could feel it. Because in the first 2 surgeries, I never lost feeling of my leg. I lost most control over my leg, but not feeling. So, oh look, I'm back on crutches. So I saw another doctor, and the doctor's like, well, we can do the surgery if you're up for it. And I was like, okay, I guess, because, you know, I really like to, because of how many odd conditions and sicknesses I get stir crazy when I have to lay in bed for long periods of time. I start losing my mind. I start having cabin fever, and I'm fine living inside my house for an extended period of time because I have a lot of hobbies, but laying in bed for extended periods of times caused me to lose my mind. It honestly makes me crazy. I hate not doing anything. The act of doing nothing is the worst feeling for me. So yeah, surgery, great, cool. 5 years later, it is now 5 years later. And for the last, I think 6 months, I will actually lose feeling, complete 100% feeling of parts of my leg. It started like with numbness in my toes, and I was like, oh, well, it's fine. I can still walk. And then I started losing feeling in my entire foot, and I'm like, it's fine. I can still walk. And recently it got all the way up to my knee where I can't feel from my knee to my toes. That entire section feels like it's not attached to my body. I have like my entire body, then down my hip up to my knee, and that's all I could feel. The rest is just something attached that I can't feel. So I was like, oh, I should go to like physical therapy, because physical therapy, I think physical therapy is great. A lot of people talk shit about physical therapy, and honestly, it's a great tool to starve off having to have surgery, or a great tool to not need surgery depending on what it is that's ailing you. I have carpal tunnel. Carpal tunnel is when the nerve right here is just like, how do I describe it? I don't want to say like it's a burning fire, because like that's too who knows what a burning fire feels like. So I guess the best way is like, imagine a bunch of red ants have bitten inside of your skin and have now chowed down on the inside of your hand, mostly from your palm to like halfway down your wrist. Well, I have that, and because I have that, they told me, oh, you can either go to physical therapy or you can have surgery. So I started going to physical therapy, and now I can live with the pain, and I don't want surgery. I hate having surgery. In the last 3 years, I've had 3 surgeries. Every year I have a new surgery, and how it's going this year, I'm gonna have surgery too, because conversation I'm still going down to. So I was like, oh yeah, fucking doctor, send me to physical therapy. I don't want to have surgery yet. Let's try and find a way to not have surgery yet. And so yesterday I went to physical therapy because my referral finally came in. And when the guy was doing the evaluation, he kind of just looks at me and he stops and he's like, because I have a whole bunch of other symptoms I didn't really talk about. I'm just telling you the things that are very obvious that you could understand. But the dude looks at me and he's like, ma'am, what you have is very serious. I don't have very much confidence that we will help you in this case. You are going to need surgery. You're going to have to see a surgeon one way or another. And I was like, fuck. Did you take morphine a lot to deal with all this pain when it gets really bad? So because of a separate issue that I've had before, I had to be medicated a lot for pain, and they ended up over medicating me and almost killing me So I now try and take as little medication as possible. I just usually live with high amounts of pain, but I know how to manage my daily life with these large amounts of pain. There are some days, like a lot of the times that I don't stream, it's because the pain is so much that I can't sit up and I have to do something else with my life. I have to lay down, or I have to like try and self-medicate without actual pharmaceuticals. Like I have to find different ways to keep myself from going over a certain edge. So that's a lot of times like why I don't stream for large periods of times, and I can't constantly be streaming because my health won't allow it. People see me and I look normal. Like you see me and you wouldn't say, oh yeah, that lady's dying inside. Like no, you wouldn't notice, especially when I walk. I've trained myself to walk without having feeling in my legs. So now both of my legs lose feeling in my legs. But when you see me, I'm just like walking around and doing normal things. You can't tell that I don't have full control over my legs. And if you push me slightly, I will knock over. Like I'm just gonna fall. There's nothing. I'm dead. But I try not to take any medication because they shot my liver and my kidney had to like they shot my kidney and my liver had to regenerate because my liver took some damages, and livers can regenerate. So that's good. I'm lucky that they did that. It was the liver, because medicine things here, different medications metabolize in different parts of your body, and luckily enough, the liver was the one where this medication metabolized. Great fact. Livers heal. That's why when you do a liver transplant, you don't take out a whole liver. You take a lobe of the liver, you cut it, you place it in the other person, and that liver will now turn into two livers, your liver and the recipient's liver. I also am allergic to certain narcotics, and if I have too much morphine, I will also die. So, you know, this fucking things. It's very hard to keep me alive. No. I think while I have a lot of pains, at this moment, I am healthy enough that I am not in risk of dying. Like I make jokes, but I'm not gonna die. Hopefully. I mean, I could be hit by a car or whatever, but as much as anyone else, honestly, I would die as much as anyone else. But yeah, I can't have too much morphine. They did do like nerve block things where they inject medication into your spine to block the nerve signals so that they do not receive the pain responses. That does not work for me. I've had that like 5 times. And all that is excruciating because I do feel the needles when they go in, even though they have a local anesthetic. But then it doesn't help. But one time, so sometimes they'll try and put you under, other times they'll do a local anesthetic. One time I woke up while they were doing it, while I was supposed to be knocked out, and I could see a screen where they were doing live motion x-rays. They're called fluoroscopy. I used to do them when I worked x-rays, where you can see the things moving in real time so that you can like insert something with visual. So they were inserting the needles into my spine, which I'm sure some people will actually, now that I realize like I'm explaining this, my best friend would have passed out by now. She can't deal with this like type of talk. It freaks her out. So I'm sorry anyone who is squeamish. I did not warn you ahead of time. But I woke up and I got to see that in real time as it was entering into my back, and I was like, oh shit, I missed this job. It was very cool. I find medicine to be very interesting. I mean, I guess you'd have to when you have this much medicine done to you, but I think even if I wasn't this type of person, I think I still would enjoy medicine. I do find medicine to be very cool, very interesting, and I love learning things about it. So the long and short of this entire story is I'm slowly losing feeling in my legs and movement in my legs. I might end up having to use assistance in walking or wheelchair again, which means I have to buy a new wheelchair because my old wheelchair is in Puerto Rico. I didn't take it with me, so I might have those problems, and it might lead to a surgery. Hopefully this physical therapist is wrong and we can help me get my mobility back. That is the key thing. I can live with pain. I live with pain every day of my life. I know how to live with pain. Does not fucking, I mean, it bothers me. Obviously it bothers me. It is a big, heavy mental and physical toll, but I have learned that some people get different cards dealt to them, and you just gotta fucking deal with that shit. And I'm dealing with my shit. I do not complain. I do not make it obvious I have these problems. I fucking buck up and we're fucking going. That's it. We're going. That's life. I can't be crying in every corner. Oh, woe is me. What am I gonna get? Where am I gonna get in life? Nowhere. I'm not gonna go anywhere in life crying and bitching and moaning every single second of my life. So I may need surgery. I really hope I don't. I've already had 3 surgeries in 3 years. If I go this year, 4 surgeries, 4 years, I'm not looking forward to that. Especially since 2 surgeries ago, it was a malpractice. I almost died after the surgery because they left a fucking duct open and I was leaking fluids, I guess. I don't want to be super specific, into my abdomen, which was burning my organs. That was really fun 2 years ago. It was actually, I've had a lot of pains in my life. I think that was one, if not the worst pain I've ever had in my life. Which, you know, when you explain that your organs are burning, I guess, yeah, that does sound like it would be the fucking worst thing in your life. So yes, it was. Yes, it fucking was. So 4 surgeries, 4 years. Hopefully this year I can break the cycle. No surgery this year, but it's looking like I'm going to need surgery because, well, I enjoy my independence. I think that's mostly it. Like, again, I understand people live with this every day. There are people who are wheelchair bound for their entire lives. But if you go to someone who's wheelchair bound, I don't think they're gonna, if you told them you can be completely mobile or you can stay in their wheelchair, they're gonna be like, yeah, I'll stay in the wheelchair. No, if you have the option, you're gonna try your best for the best possible outcome. I may get stuck in the wheelchair, I may not. We're working on it. I'm trying my best. I really am. If you're in a wheelchair, well, I fucking get it done. That's what I'm gonna say. I don't pity you. I don't feel bad for you. Because you were given these cards. You didn't ask for this shit. And you're living your life. And that's all you can ask for. That you can live your fucking life. Don't let it get you down. Keep moving. There's so many things in life that you can achieve. Even immobile. That's why, like, sure, I don't want this to happen to me. But I don't fucking care. If I am in a wheelchair, we're gonna keep going. This chair will change. I will still fucking stream here. I will be in a wheelchair and stream. I don't know what I will do, but life keeps going and I'm not gonna let anything stop me. I can just say you're really amazing and optimistic, even with all those things that you're extremely fun and smile inducing and cheerful and funny, with overall super amazing and very beautiful and youthful, no matter what your age is and how many ailments you have. Thank you for sharing all of that. You're welcome. I think, like, that's one of the other reasons that I stream, because I like to share positivity. Like, I like to boost people up. Like, I don't stream and I'm super positive, but when I'm in other people's streams, I try and share as much positivity as I can. Like, one of my friends, he, like, Papa Alianza, like, he has the little exclamation point Vale, and it's like, it all talks about like positivity and how I always try and lift everyone up. And it's true. Like, I want everyone to be better. I want everyone to feel more like fulfilled in themselves, not in your job, not in like the things you do, but in yourself. I want you to be happy. And I don't want mine, like my people and mine, to give up. I want us to all just fucking, we can achieve, we can move forward. That's cool. Yeah, if it plays a sound effect and it says like, I'm a positive person, I'm trying to move, he calls his community the familianza, which is familia, which is family in Spanish, and alianza, since his last name is Alianza. Familianza is like, it's always trying to lift the familianza up and trying to be positive and give support to our little family and community. So I like that I can convey that feeling to everyone. Like, that is something I'm proud of myself for doing. Like, being this positive energy in the world. There's a lot of people who are negative, and every bump in the road is like, woe is me, the world is ending. Like, there's a lot of people who like, well, I understand there's a lot of depression, and I'm not saying that we're not all battling with our own little fucking depressions, but I like to try and help people see, I don't know, something light and airy, even if it's like, oh, I say a dumb joke and you laugh, and you haven't like laughed in a while because you're in some shit, like you're in some hard shit in your life, and that one random giggle is just enough to just, that's all I want. That's all I want. Just this small twinge of light in your life. That's why I say a lot of dumb things. The other reason I say a lot of dumb things is because I have ADHD. Sometimes I can't control it. So I say a lot of dumb things, but I always try and like something to make you laugh, something to distract, because oh, my screen turned off. I think my HDMI cable is broken. So yeah, that is the update of my life. That is a little bit more about my personality. That's pretty much what I wanted to convey today, was what I was going through and what's gonna happen in the future going forward. If you see that I haven't been on for a while, you kind of understand, well, what's going on in life that would cause this to happen. You're not gonna be like, surprise, like, oh, she's so fucking lazy that she can't even stream anymore. It's more like, yeah, probably some shit, right? Yes, it's probably some shit. This is applesauce. And I realized I was crinkling it right next to the microphone. I haven't had anything for breakfast. Not very breakfast person. Just funny. When I went to go visit my family, because I went to go visit my parents and my siblings, and well, okay, my entire family lives in Puerto Rico. Only one person of my family who doesn't live in Puerto Rico, that's not me, is my favorite aunt. Everyone else, my aunts, my uncles, my grandparents, my second uncles, my cousins, my siblings, they all live in Puerto Rico. My entire family lives out there. And while I was out there, I was spending time with like my grandma, my aunt, and my cousin, my brothers, my parents, and all that shit. And while I was down there, I was staying with my parents. And every morning, my dad would make me breakfast. And I'm like, I'm not a breakfast person. But what am I gonna say fucking no? Oh, I wonder if that picked up on the mic, because I don't have headphones on, so I have that shit coming out of the speakers. That's why I tune every time. And even if I just lurk and listen, like, I might be busy, you bring happiness, but also since it's been a while now, you're just part of my week now. So you bring sense of normalcy too. I'm glad that I can do that for you. I actually really like appreciate, like, because I feel like you've been here through all of my growth as, let's say, a streamer. You've been around for a very long time of this, and you tune in as much as possible, and I always feel your support. And I always appreciate it. I'm never gonna be like, oh, you haven't been around in a while, or, oh, this guy, he just fucking left me. Like, I'm sure I'm not like the most interesting content in the world, but I do love the idea of helping people. Okay, I'm back. Damn, Cece, you missed a lot. Sorry, needed more applesauce. Just a long pause. I need more applesauce. I'm fucking hungry. I've been up for a while, preparing. Did my first message not go through? Your last message was good morning, Sage. So, oh, the thing about having to do work and some stuff, but right now I have downtime real quick. Those are the last messages. Wow. Slurring my words. It's my ADHD, don't worry. I just randomly put a fear out there in the world. There's nothing wrong with me in my brain other than my ADHD. Sorry.